Good evening, good morning. Hello, Rando fans. Welcome to another exciting Rando race of the 2021 ALTTPR main tournament. I'm your co-commentator, Jocelyn Sauce, here with Lumaga, as we are getting ready for an exciting matchup, Game 2, between dazedcloud and Buane. Lumaga, how you doing? What are we looking at here?
Well, we are looking at two very good runners. Buane, obviously very good. He does NMG. Oh, and he's pretty good at Rando. dazedcloud, no slouch either. Plays a lot more adventurous modes. So he's got quite the mind to deal with whatever the game throws at him.
Awesome, and we're just about to get started here, just waiting for our racers to get going. Remember that this is the hard item pool standard, so they'll get that standard start here to clear the escape. They'll also be limited in their item pool. Lamagi, you want to tell us a little bit about what that means?
Yeah, so for the whole tournament this year, we are doing standard hard. As you mentioned, there's a limited item pool where they will not find an armor upgrade. That's out of the question. They'll also not get a fourth sword nor a third shield, and they'll be limited on the amount of hearts they're going to get. And if that wasn't enough, they'll never get silver arrows. They'll find one of two bows that are in the game, but they will never be upgraded to silver. So I don't suspect that either one of these runners who have made, a great showing so far through the qualifiers, through groups, and had a great game one, would have any trouble dealing with any of that.
No, I don't expect that at all. Especially, they're used to doing Master Sword Ganon fights, even, and like you said, without any silver arrows, they'll be doing the old swingaroonies to be able to take down the big pig at the end of the game.
I did mention game one. Buane is up 1-0 on dazedcloud, so this is really dazedcloud's chance to tie it up, or he will be out of the tournament for this year. So see what we got coming into the standard start. Starting off with the Quake coin, not our first weapon, of course. That'll be on the uncle.
Yeah, one of the nice things about the standard start is you are guaranteed some sort of offensive weapon on Uncle, but it could be not so great. It could be something like bombs or Cane of Berna, but we'll have to see what we're going to start out with today here in a second.
That could be great. You could get a hammer, the bow, or fire rod is even really good. Well, there's the cane you just disparaged, and cane is not so bad because you can place a block and toss it at the enemies to, have it persist that damage throughout its the block's life.
And some very helpful bombs so early in the escape in that chest. It'll be nice too. And this is Cane of Samaria, so that is a little bit better than the Cane of Berna because you can manipulate that block a little bit more, be able to reuse it on the guards.
Yeah, so now this being a standard start, of course, you got to go rescue Zelda out of the cell, get to the sanctuary, and movement is going to be key for both of these runners. This is kind of a time to really try and gain some sort of a slight edge getting out of here. Clean movement is really the key for this. We know that key is going to be somewhere before the back of escape, of course. Got to get that, so get that one out of the way. There is a map still in here, and if we don't find that all the way through the front or even the secret room of escape, we know that's going to be in Sanctuary.
Just having a little technical difficulty with dazedcloud's feed, but we'll hopefully catch up to that pretty soon here as we watch Buane take down some more guards with the cane blocks.
So we did mention a limited item pool, and one thing about hard mode is even if you do find one of those, they are in the item pool. If you're not allowed to get it or upgrade, it'll turn into a green 20 like we saw. Given that we don't have anything, the bow, we don't have enough hearts, we don't have any swords, we're pretty certain that would have been a blue mail.
And we're still here, just had a little technical difficulty catching up on the stream, so bear with us. Here we go. There we go. We're both back here.
Both back in about the same place, just as we kind of expected. It looks like we did find a hammer down in Zelda's cell, so she was there equipped with a hammer herself.
So plenty of weapons in the escape, which always makes me feel better about taking on the key rat in the back of the sewer with a kind of a permanent weapon like hammer instead of something you're going to run out of bombs possibly or magic. So the runner's going to feel pretty good. They're already really great runners, so they would have handled it already with bombs even, but now I'm feeling good too.
Yeah, that hammer being one of the 3 keys we need to get into the Dark World and circumvent Aghanim. It's certainly a helpful item for melee power, like you're saying, but a good utility item for the rest of the game as well.
We also already have the Dark Cross key, so we will see an item here in a moment in the next room.
That could be a map.
Right you are.
Yeah, right I am. So that means everything else here is going to be something valuable, or at least interesting enough to go check out. And they do have bombs. No need to, farm any of the soldiers, the ropes, or the rats to see what the prize pack is today.
Yeah, so this was a Samaria, Kane of Samaria start. Got bombs also by Uncle, and got the hammer in Zelda cell. So a lot of offensive weapons to start, a lot of utility. Just going to be a really nice opening.
That bottle is going to help with this opening. Bottle is one of those things you'd love to have before Kakariko. And, just to get the sick kid out of the way, you don't have to travel back to Kakariko for one lonely check later on in the game. All right, both of these runners doing very well. Sub-6 escape for both of them. About the target for, most runners would be 6 minutes, and both accomplished it. I suspect real soon we'll see a map check, just to see where they should think about going. And we got a 5-6 on Eastern, and normal crystal and desert, and looked like a green pendant on Hera.
Yep, that's what I saw as well. And since neither runner has boots yet, I suspect there won't be a lumberjack check yet as they're going into the forest now.
It's not only boots, which are required to get to lumberjack anyway. They do have bombs. They don't, need to check the tree pole up there by the lumberjack. They don't need money, they don't have enough money, but it's not enough incentive to go up there and check the bush grab or the tree pole just yet. Talking about Dark World access, we've got 2 of the 3 items here. Just need a Moon Pearl, and we are good to go in a lot more places in this world.
It looks like we saw 2 tree poles there. 1 and 2 were both hearts, it looked like.
One of them was rupees.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but nothing too exciting. It wasn't like a stack of 20s or anything.
Blind Shot's my favorite check in the game, just because you're fresh starting. And hook shot. I told you it's my favorite place in the game, right there. We could start with a hook shot, Arrow of Destiny, a heart container, some bombs. But you get so many options already to start with. You're going to see how the seed might present itself to you from the beginning here.
Yeah, and with the glove, you wonder if anyone's going to chance the treasure trove up in East Death Mountain with the hookshot as well. First, Kakariko. There's still plenty of stuff here, and you're not going to abandon it right away.
Man, already, I know we only have one pendant here in the Light World, but Ice Palace is looking pretty good already. In Swamp Palace, maybe, with a couple of these items so early. Just hard to speculate about an hour from now.
Yeah, no clue what those pendants or crystals are going to be in the Dark World, but chances are one of them is going to be, in a key location like that. Lots of money in the well. This must have been a wishing well or something. Which is great because, they're got plenty of things to spend it on. They could head up to Zora. That's in logic with that glove. The bottle vendor also takes 100, and they'll need 100 more to get into, or 110 more to get into Palace of Darkness later.
We also have a cape, which is the first piece of the puzzle there to a potential Aga Seed, where, if they're missing the Moon Pearl later, you never know what's going to be on that pyramid. Oh, there's that Ice Palace enabler there that was just foreseen.
Yep, that's our second of 3 medallions. We also got the Quake out of Link's house.
But no sword to use it with, so we'll have to see how long until they get a sword.
Now, they do have a lot of items coming out of Kakariko, but nothing that puts anything really really interesting in logic, right? They don't have the lamp or the flute that puts Death Mountain in logic. No desert access yet. It's really, let's just see what the rest of the standard routing gets us, and I suspect that's going to be South Shore.
Now, obviously, we have some great runners here, but with this standard hard item pool, we've also got a limitation on the number of hearts they're going to have. So even though you see those heart containers floating around, those will count in the end when you're taking, 3 to 5 hearts of damage, depending on who you're fighting.
Every little bit counts.
You'll see the use of the hookshot clip to make the dam a little bit passable quicker. Oh, and there's Titan's Mitts. So once they get the Moon Pearl, the mountain gets even more clearable, more fun up there.
Yeah, there's a whole dark side to that Death Mountain, which has, the hookshot cave. You can check out what the Turtle Rock Medallion is. There's a lot of ways they can go. They just need the access. Nothing really has opened up tremendously for them, but it's waiting to. And with that Moon Pearl, they have access to just about every little bit of Dark World, save, I think, Meyer area.
Yeah, and Death Mountain is still logic locked without either the flute or the lamp. So as much as that's open, accessible, it's still out of logic.
Yeah, sure. Logic is just a suggestion, though.
That's right. As you might even see a fake flipper here in a minute.
I will tell you, it's exciting to see when the seed opens up so much like this. But running it, you're wondering, where do I actually want to go? There's too many places to go at some level.
And what's interesting too is when you get Dark World access, and there's a bug net, get access this early, you have to kind of choose. Do you want to continue your early checks, like Saha's Closet, Agina, those kind of places, or are you going to jump in the Dark World and start looking at things like Thieves Town and Skull Woods?
Well, Buane not wasting any time. He knows to go for density, and with the kit he's got, he's going right to Hype Cave. dazedcloud, I think, has other plans. You mentioned a fake flipper coming up. Looks like I saw a pendant Skull Woods, and I saw a 5-6 on Misery Mire. Chat also telling us that it was a pendant Ice Palace. So, gonna need both rods for the Turtle Rock area. Gonna need flute. There's one of those two rods. We're gonna need flute for Misery Mire and a few other things.
Hype Cave, fairly hype with the bottle, and again, bottles are important in this format, especially no mail upgrades and limits on hearts. Some of those are going to be important, especially if they don't get a half magic. A magic bottle might be really helpful later in the game. And there's a flute, out of logic flute.
Out of logic flute, but it's a flute. I'll take it. You got a fire rod on one end, staying in logic. You got a flute on dazedcloud side, out of logic. And it's hard to tell who really won out on that, because that fire rod is, good for a lot of things. Who knows? Maybe Mothula even has something in the back of Skull Woods. No sword, though. Can't get there yet. But, great find anyway.
And the route that Buane's taking makes sense too, because he's got the Titan's Myth, so you can just keep going north from here up into Village of Outcasts, no problem.
And saving every second possible, just dismissing that quarter heart piece out of the dig game. Don't blame him.
dazedcloud looks like they're going to go toot the flute, get that bird going so they can get to anywhere they want really quickly. That just makes sense. Not sure if they're going to stay in the village there, but they'll have access to everywhere really quickly with the flute. So that's a great next step once you get the flute anytime. Meanwhile, Buane's going to do hammer pegs.
Can't say I dislike either one of these. At one level, you got to follow the logic. Seed gave you a lot of things early on, including the hammer out of Escape. So you check those hammer locations quickly. At the other level, dazedcloud making a gamble. He is down 1-0 on Buane. So he was rewarded with a flute. And going straight to Desert, probably could check out that Mire area too.
I always love this play. Just getting that information. We know that Mire is a crystal, so we want to know, is it ether? Are we still looking for a medallion? Plus, you get a couple good checks with the Mire shed there. In this case, with both Mire and TR being crystals, you want to get that information as early as you can so you can know when you really hit go mode or if you're still looking for another medallion or not.
It was ether, by the way. So still got to find that 3 medallion. Quake is not going to do us much. Maybe Bombos will be our ticket into Ice Palace should we need... No, we got Fire Rod. Never mind. The only one we really need this game is the one we don't have.
Buane's going to take a look inside Thieves Town. I'm sure they'll have no problem taking on Buane with Hammer and Cane of Samaria if they don't find a sword.
Yeah, fully clearable. Samaria, Hammer, Blind. Not terrible. You'd love a sword to be able to execute the script perfectly, though.
And it looks like dazedcloud is going to get their Fire Rod and a bottle as they head towards Hype Cave. Was that we found a mushroom, I believe, in Thieves Town?
No, the mushroom was in Hype Cave.
Oh, that's right. I got so stunned by the fire rod in all of its flaming glory.
Yeah. No, mushroom is one of those things where you find it early enough, and it just weighs on you. It's like, geez, when do I go there? Because really good chance that something could have been placed there, just with the way the algorithm works. Dave's doing the whole Dark World tour here. He's finished with Hype Cave, but he's going to check the Pyramid Ledge. Wonder if this might lead him to some out-of-the-way locations. Maybe he'll check Catfish, but good on him. He checked out Ledge for flippers.
And that makes the flute in logic now. So that means all of the mountain is now in logic for dazedcloud. Well, except for the dark room, but they'll have no problem doing that in the dark. No problem.
Really good stuff here coming from both runners. We're heading for a crystal in Thieves Town. We're exploring whatever we can in the overworld and getting rewarded by a flute and flippers from dazedcloud. All right, let's see what the grumpy fish has today. A little bit of money, nothing to go off of that, so save and quit as Buane has blind the maiden out of the cell and heading back up to fight the first boss here.
I will point out that dazedcloud does have logical access now to Ice Palace, which is a pendant.
You know, there's too much to do other than Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Like this mushroom check, which is just bombs today.
I'm just going on my wild speculation from the beginning of the seed. I want to follow that one all the way. If that could have been a prediction, let's see.
Well, you heard it here at 20 minutes something seconds, Ice Palace. So we'll see what happens within an hour. A mix of Hammer and Samaria blind here from Buane. Last heart and takes down blind with all you need, one heart.
Yeah, tough fight without a sword, but Buane handled it pretty well. No problem there. Just scary for the viewers, probably not for Buane.
All right, here's that treasure trove we were talking about. Old man still out of logic without a lamp, but everything else up here is light and dark mountain. Buane checking out the north side as he's done with the Village of Outcasts and the south end. Nothing up on the bumper ledge. Did not go into Skull Woods at all. 2 items out in Skull Woods, and I know a lot of runners will consider that, you know, almost a gimme. They go straight for it, no matter what's going on.
You know, I always do that, but I'm not in the main tournament, so you don't listen to me. We'll go with what the runners do. Interesting though. So Tower of Hera is in logic, fully clearable now for dazedcloud. We've also got so Ice Palace is a pendant, Hera's a pendant, and they're a sword away from Skull Woods being a pendant, being fully clearable. So, you know, those ped check fans out there, maybe you're hoping.
Head check is one thing. Lumberjack check finally at 22 minutes. That's the other rod. We're going to need to do Agadim to get that one. Which also means we're going to find the boots in order to get that ice rod.
awesome. Everybody's gonna get their full value for their ticket that they got for this race.
Yeah, strap in, everybody. We got a good seed coming up.
Good to see a lot of items here in Paradox Cave.
A bunch of junk so far. Only thing we found was a boomerang, which could have some use, but very limited.
Yeah, and we know the blue boomerang is on the library, so we won't be seeing that one either. Probably. That really is only useful as much in Ganon's Tower for a few rooms for these racers. I don't think we've seen anybody turn in the mushroom yet, so we still got that one. I don't believe...
dazedcloud did turn in the mushroom for bombs.
Great.
So Dave's taken this all the way to Hera before ending up in Spiral Cave and Dark Death Mountain, just because he doesn't have a mirror to get back from Dark Death Mountain back to light. So even though this is a pendant, this is a short dungeon. I'm not surprised that, he's going in here, and wouldn't be surprised if he goes very deep in here. He's setting up one of the many setups for Hera Pot. This one, as long as you set a bomb in the right spot and line up against the pot, and he's got it right here. Missed it. But one of many that people can learn to do the Hera Pot.
There's a nice visual cue if you get that right side of those yellow boxes to line up with the right side of the chest. That's kind of your cue. So if you're watching that now, you can see almost there.
Does have to be mindful of his bomb count and his health on this, because he's going to take damage every time he attempts it.
That should do it.
He's got it.
As Buane is going to join everyone in Hera, it looks like. It's a Tower of Hera party.
Much of a party. You got 20 rupees and 10 bombs, but this is our green pendant, so no one's been to Eastern yet, to that area. That's a great way to route in the green pendant turn-in with either one of those dungeons, Pod or Eastern.
dazedcloud taking down Moldorm without too much of a problem. Of course, we're getting the green pendant. We see how long it takes dazedcloud to want to go turn that in, but there's lots of things on the trail, like you said, Lumaga, to do on the way as well. Really good if they can find a mirror to be able to loop Pod and Eastern Palace together. But the nice thing is with the flute, being able to pop over there really quickly, they can probably do both those dungeons without too much work, even without a mirror. Still need a bow, though. Still need to find a bow, which could be there.
Bow could be in a lot of places. Could even be here in Spike Cave. Or Dark Death Mountain, which I'm sure dazedcloud's going to explore before he leaves here. And, does have a cape. Does have bottles, although I think one has red potion and one is empty. So may be able to do Spike Cave. It is in logic. Well, okay, he's got 2 red potions. He could tank all those spikes and still have enough magic left over with that cape.
Yeah, and Daze, as Chats point out, Daze did throw the bottle into the waterfall fairy and got a magic potion.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, that's on his list too.
That's a fun little hookshot clip on dazedcloud's side. Going through Super Bunny Cave, we just have to line up the blocks the right way and pop on through. You can also use the mirror there. Of course, they don't have the mirror yet, but lots of different ways to clear the mountain a little quicker. One other thing. Oh, go for it.
I was going to say one thing, either before or after the hookshot cave here, we can see what our requirement for Turtle Rock is, and then we've got an idea of what we need for Go Mode and how to get there. So it is Ether. That's the last medallion, the only medallion really we'll need today. Looks like we're going to need boots because we know we need Lumberjack, and we need a bow and a mirror to get into Swamp Palace, possibly Desert as well.
Well, the good news about not having Ether there, as we see powder and a shovel, heart container as well, is they don't have a sword to use it anyway, so it's not a big deal if they can't open that Turtle Rock portal yet. But it would have been convenient, but they'll come back for sure because they got to clear Turtle Rock.
We also need 2 more things. We do need 2 swords, minimum. There are 4 in the game. We can get at most 3 in our inventory, this being hard mode, but you need that Master Sword to even touch Ganon. So you do need to find those 2. 30 minutes in, we're still swordless. And dazedcloud using the cape does use magic considerably more quickly than that Cane of Burna would. But that's a bow. That's well worth the time spent getting up into Spike Cave.
Yeah, despite not having a lamp, I don't think that's going to stop the runners from wanting to take on Pod and Eastern Palace.
Yeah, and this is, naturally, dazedcloud is going for probably the turn-in first to Sahasrara. Doesn't have a mirror, so makes sense not to start in the Dark World. But yeah, Pod and Eastern, right on the way, and that's the logical choice here. I think it's really the only choice. There's nothing else they can really dip.
And perhaps Buane's going to do the same thing. We're still needing him to go to the pyramid to get those flippers. So, as well as want to go check the waterfall fairy for the flute. But this will put him in this direction.
dazedcloud did not turn in that green pendant. Went to the back and left. So, does not have Sahasrara's prize. Let's see what Buane does and if dazedcloud is saved or if he's in trouble. Oh, just a big 20. Okay, so it's okay to miss.
Yeah, that lamp just is going to make this a lot easier, especially those turtles in the back of Pod. And that, again, we're still missing a sword, but that's a big part of the Aga access. Or at least to clear it a little easier. Nobody wants to do Aga in the dark.
No, you're gonna definitely try and find that lamp before you do Aga. If you go into Aga in the dark without the lamp, it's very risky. Very rarely will it reward you because it's one of the harder set of dark rooms to get through.
And having the lamp is just a nice comfort in this, where they're going to have to do Mystery Mire and Turtle Rock as well. Even though those are well-practiced dungeons, most of the runners in this tournament have gotten nailed down. It just makes it a little easier to focus on the execution of the game.
Yeah, and execution is something both of these runners are very good at. So, a lamp is nice to have. Even just look at that. dazedcloud getting through that room, no problem. Book in Eastern Palace, so that is our access to desert. The key is vanilla, so we're gonna have to go all the way through and look for that last item, either in the big chest or on Armos himself. Now remember, even though Buane is a few screens behind, seemingly, he's a whole Thieves Town ahead. So, still plenty of game to be played. Lots of things could change between now and the end of the seed, but we are one dungeon difference.
All right, we got a prediction going on in the chat here. Are the boots logically required for the desert? Got 2 minutes for whatever channel points you've got. I don't know. Lumaga, you got a guess on this one?
Well, we're going to certainly need boots later on in this seed. We know that the ice rod is on Lumberjack. It very well could be. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say boots are, somewhere elsewhere, and they are logically required for desert. What about you?
I like a good underdog, and since about 40-60 here, I'm going to go with that key on the torch. And look at that, already brought some new friends on board. It's 50-50 now. Hopefully that's the commentator bump, not the commentator curse.
We will see. Yeah, but go ahead and wager your channel points. If you have any channel points, we are on the elusive, often talked about but rarely seen SpeedGaming 6. So you may not have a whole lot, but have fun with it.
The Sassy 6.
Sassy 6. dazedcloud setting up for the top quick kill. And looks like he's got this one no problem. For his first crystal, Buane just about 2 screens behind him, gonna get his second. And I'd like to welcome everybody here from SpeedGaming 3. We've got a great match between dazedcloud and Buane. Buane looking to take this series 2 games to nothing. dazedcloud looking to survive for one more game.
Still got a couple more seconds to get that prediction in. Are boots logically required for desert? As Lumaga said, they are required for the seed because we have an ice rod on Lumberjack.
Yeah, so here's dazedcloud. He did turn in that green pendant, probably realized at some point in his Eastern Palace run that he did not turn it in. But he's headed to Palace of Darkness. Palace of Darkness is, very dense with items. It's got 5. It is a crystal. It's really obviously the next play to go to.
And unfortunately, losing a little bit of time, not remembering they have the flute. So Buane's going to get a couple seconds bonus there to help pick up, since they both had to walk down.
Yeah, good flute to 5.
And you mentioned earlier that Buane's a Thieves Town ahead, but Buane also has to go check the pyramid for the flippers that dazedcloud already has, and go to the Waterfall Ferry to get the flute.
And dazedcloud does not yet know that Ice Rod is on Lumberjack. Buane was the one who checked that later on, after he's done most of the overworld. So no clear advantage either way. There's a lot of things that one runner knows or has that the other runner doesn't.
And neither of them checked Skull Woods, which is a pendant, but it's still often a place of value, especially when it is a pendant. So we'll have to wait and see if that was a missed opportunity at some point. And with the lamp, a bow, and hammer, all of Pod is 100% in logic and clearable. So let's sit back and see what kind of interesting items they pick up and just the execution that happens here.
Yeah, this will be no problem. This is, a quick dungeon. If you are counting your keys up front, maybe you make a gamble too and just say, I'm not going to check the vanilla big key chest in the middle here. We have found 2 keys. There's going to be at least 4 in the front. So if you're good at counting your keys and understanding kind of how the logic works in the front and the back, this could be a little bit quicker for you.
And remember, they do not have the mirror, so how they handle the dark maze will be important, and how much time they have to spend.
Yeah, with that, the best play to make is, if you know the hammer yump, you take it from reverse. You start at the big chest and then go south to north on the dark maze. So key for a key out in vanilla big key chest. There's 3 of them, and so at least one of these will be a key on the right side here.
Lots of bunches of arrows so far.
Interesting play from dazedcloud, throwing a bomb and falling off intentionally to warp back to that door and make it back in time for the pegs to switch. Love it.
Is that on purpose?
Yeah, I would imagine that's on purpose. In fact, I can't imagine it not being on purpose.
Hey, if it works, it doesn't matter if it's on purpose or not. But in this tier of runners, I'm sure everything's pretty close to on purpose.
Buane did the same thing, so I don't think that it was a mistake on either runner, right? These runners know what they're doing.
And welcome folks from SpeedGaming too, right in the middle of some great action here.
Yeah, you picked a good one to come into. This is going to be a Agaseed because we do know that the Ice Rod is on Lumberjack. Wayne knows this, but dazedcloud does not. dazedcloud has explored a few things out of logic, rewarded with the flippers and the flute, but Buane is a dungeon ahead. This is very close, however you slice it.
And the big thing that's going to happen is whoever finds the sword is that's going to really determine the direction they head, I think.
Absolutely. We are 42 minutes in, no sword. No sword, no problem, right? These runners are perfectly happy, perfectly fine to not, be equipped with the sword. They got plenty of other tricks up their sleeves.
Yeah, and although you can try to use the bug net against Aga, you do need a sword to swish those drapes to get into the back there.
The dazedcloud ran down the path.
Yeah.
And Buane took a death warp, so just all these minor things which one of these runners is going to say, shoulda, woulda, coulda at the end of this, but very interesting tactics from each one of them.
One little thing I think that separates really high-level runners like these guys is just how they handle that little arrow shot over to the crystal switch in the previous room that Wayne just did. Just casually running up there, throwing an arrow over, no problem.
Yeah, here's that turtle room you were talking about. Good thing we do have the lamp. Fire rod is also good to have in there, but nothing is a good substitute for that lamp. dazedcloud making good work of this mask. It comes off, no problem. And a couple of arrows right into that jewel. Gonna take down Helmasaur. There's second crystal.
The question now is dazedcloud gonna go check desert and see if it's open, if it's boots locked, or are they gonna try the fabled ice palace, Penna Ice Palace that's in Folian Logic next?
You know, I can see the Ice Palace play, making sense, because you may need boots, but desert, if it doesn't need boots, it's clearable. And we do have our prediction, is boots logically required for Desert Palace. So if you made a wager on that one, stay tuned. We're going to get there soon.
And of course, we got to check that shovel first, just to make sure that's something or not.
Yeah, with this much you're missing, dazedcloud still does not know where the ice rod is. You're missing 2 swords, a mirror, boots possibly. You're going to check whatever you can, and fluting away, see where he goes to. Oh, is this going to be a magic bat?
Is Buane trying to do swordless Aggo somehow? That's not a thing.
Let's see if this works. It's not gonna, but Buane will figure that out soon enough. This is, you just want to tell Buane, stop what you're doing. You don't have a sword. You can't cut those curtains.
Yeah, and as this is just a normal mode, standard, there's no benefit to the chest inside like you would have in a Kisandi mode or something else, so this is not going to go anywhere, unfortunately.
It's very unfortunate because Buane is a top runner. You wouldn't expect this, but all of these things can happen to even the best of us.
dazedcloud gonna do the Smith chain here?
Smith chain is a possibility. We've already seen hammer pegs.
You still have to do Thieves Town, so this is Thieves. Yeah, that makes sense. Thieves Town.
That's right. Yeah, he does have to do Thieves Town. Buane has already done Thieves Town. Smith chain could work, and we've already seen hammer pegs from Buane that led to nothing.
I'm sitting here hoping that Buane has come up with some new glitch we haven't heard of to get through those curtains.
Yeah, it's not fun to see when a runner is making a play you know is not going to work out. He does need to do Aga at some point, just not the time to do it.
A lot of these top runners, like these guys, they do a ton of seeds in a week. They do the other things like the ladder and other competitions and all sorts of modes. And so I can imagine the the intensity of doing something like a retrance or 80 key sanity, something crazy, and then trying to come back and play standard, that, you know, you could see something like this happening. So we have dazedcloud clearing out Thieves Town. Wasn't much there, but it is a crystal, so it has to be done.
Yep. And that's the realization that there's curtains in the back of Agadim. Can't cut them with anything he has in his equipment. So, yeah, that feels bad, and you know, my heart goes out to Buane here. But still plenty of game to be played. It's unfortunate that he did make the trek up there, but let's see where he goes next. This is likely that desert play. So we did find that book in Eastern Palace, and that leads us to desert. We're going to see very soon if we need boots to get through Desert Palace or not.
Yeah, let's hope this isn't a sword, because that would be probably the worst feeling to have, I think, if the next check you'd make is a sword.
Well, no sword, but anywhere he finds a sword is not going to feel great, because could have gone, you know, to that first and then done Aga. But we've already seen the ledge actually for desert. I think that was junk.
Yeah. Daze has to be careful climbing through the hellway here. But a nice powder on the antiferra there gives a refill. No problem at the end. Looks scary, but I'm sure they have it handled. And somewhere we're still going to find the boots. We've got, I believe, Smith Chain still around. We've got Ice Palace. We've got Inside Skull Woods. And here in Desert as well.
And that is the last dungeon we can go to, because we need the mirror for Swamp Palace. We need ether for those medallion locked dungeons. Of course, we need a sword to do that anyway. Oh, there's ether. Okay. And that being an item, I believe this means we are boots locked.
Give me those points, yeah! Congratulations to all those with the correct answer. Those points feel really great. For everybody else, keep watching, get those points back, and you'll be back in with the next prediction. So is this Buane making a TR play?
You know, I don't blame him at this point.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Just saying, I don't blame him at this point. He knows he can't get to the back, but he's got the entrance, he's got Samaria, he's got the fire rod, so he can get all the way to Laser Bridge and get whatever's in the back there. Who knows? Maybe it's all three swords.
So we also have to point out that he doesn't have a sword, so he can't actually use that medallion to open TR yet either.
Oh,
so he's gonna go check Ether Tablet, looks like.
Yes. This is a long way to get to Ether Tablet, too. Because there's no mirror.
dazedcloud taking out Blind with the Cane of Samaria blocks. Yeah, so you can't actually even get the tablet. So I wonder if that was the same thing we were thinking, like, go into TR, oh shoot, don't have a sword, can't use the medallion. Might as well check this while I'm here. I don't know. I'm still sticking with my random speculation of Ice Palace, but Skull Woods, no one's checked Skull Woods, and that pendant just screams item.
Well, dazedcloud is headed north. We have already seen that there's rupees up on the bumper ledge, so he'll find that out soon. And then, yeah, it's either Smith Chain now or bumper ledge. Or sorry, Skull Woods or Ice Palace, as you said about, I don't know, half an hour ago. You were really plugging that Ice Palace.
So dazedcloud finds a heart container as the first item in Skullwoods, but has to go back to the middle section to be able to get a key to continue that section area. But with the cane of Samaria, should be no problem to get through that little statue puzzle pretty quickly. Looks like Buane might be heading up there as well, to Skullwoods.
At this point, it just makes sense to check Skullwoods. It's the easiest one to get to, and to get through. Smith Chain would be a little bit longer, and Ice Palace consider longer to get through.
Interesting is dazedcloud got the big key in vanilla chest there, did not go grab the key, the small key. So if this is not an item, it's a trip back or just skipping out.
Well, he could always. Oh, there's a key. I was going
right,
to say he could fall into Skullwoods and hope for a key there, as Buane is doing. Buane is falling in, still looking for that second item.
dazedcloud also showing the importance of practicing ways to do these bomb jumps without having a sword. You know, a lot of people want to rely on the spin stop, but you're not always going to have a sword to do that.
A bunch of keys. Well, 3 keys would make Mothula in logic, and we've only found the one item, so hey, why don't we head back there?
If we only had a sword, like everything else we've seen so far.
A sword. Okay, never mind. So we got maybe Smith Chain, maybe Ice Palace. I think that is the last few things we can check.
And dazedcloud hasn't looked in desert yet, so he'll take a look there.
You know, if you haven't given these 2 runners a follow, please do, and question why you haven't followed them before. Go ahead and give them a follow. They have been doing a great job, you know, doing this. What looks like a pretty horrible seed. No swords at 56 minutes. They got to do Agra for the Ice Rod. Desert is boots locked. They're going to have to find boots. Give them a follow. Give them some support. And while you're at it, why don't you give our tracker Wolflink 0370 a follow, and my co-commentator Jawsome Sauce a follow.
Buane, you don't have a sword. Please, Buane, you don't have a sword.
Oh,
but
no.
there is that first chest in the front of the back. This could be a huge play if there's a sword in there.
That's true. Yeah, he's got 1 left here. We're still looking for 1 item.
If you're a Buane fan and this is a sword, you're gonna feel pretty good, I think. Or mirror, or a couple other items. Nope. But hey, you got to check those ones that maybe your opponent didn't check and try to get that glory on a good check, you know?
Yeah, half the game is about taking chances here.
I'm thinking Buane's going to check Pyramid now. Nope. Turn in the mushroom.
dazedcloud is fluting 8. He's going Ice Palace, or maybe he's going to Hobo, but one way or another, we're going to see some new content. Yeah, he's going Ice Palace here.
Get some bombs, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh. Yep.
Arrows?
I think they were pretty close to the topped out there, but maybe they just wanted to spend some money.
Nothing wrong with spending money, but... Oh, there's a sword on Hylia Island. Oh, boy. So we need a mirror for that one. Let's see if it's going to be sword number 1, 2, or 3 when we finally get it.
Okay, now I feel like Buane's going to go check the pyramid.
Yeah, that'll be Buane's flippers once he gets those. He still has not done any of the flipper checks, so once he does, if he follows that, he can get the flute off of Waterfall Fairy.
Oh, Dave's doing a flute and deciding that wasn't the right spot. Gonna flute back to, maybe doing Smith Chain. Doesn't want to go to Ice Palace.
I don't blame him for not wanting to go to Ice Palace. He may need to go there because we're running out of new places to go to.
So to recap what we need here, we got the Ice Rod is on Lumberjack, meaning we need a sword to get to Aga, and we need a boots for that. So boots and Ice Rod and a sword. 2 swords, of course. We need the mirror to do Swamp Palace. And I believe, so we're those items away from go mode. 2 swords, a mirror, and boots to get Ice Rod. So of those, what can be on Ped? We've got boots could be on Ped. We got mirror could be on Ped because we're a sword away from Ped being in logic.
Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty much it. And anything that's not quite progression, of course. But we did finish a prediction. After 1 hour, we still had not found a sword. Grats if you checked. Grats if you wagered that we would not find a sword within 1 hour.
To clarify, it was will someone get a sword? We technically found a sword before an hour just on Hylia Island, but we could not get it, so that doesn't count.
Okay. Yep, that is very true.
To all the lawyers out in the crowd, that's tough for you. Days had a few more outside of village checks to make here, so that's why he went over there.
This has got to be the Smith chain coming up. And Buane heading up to Zora and Waterfall Fairy, checking out what's up there. Going to get his flute and nothing else. So might follow that to Mire Shed, which Daze has already checked.
Yeah, so Buane's going to go to actually activate the flute first. So it's going to take some time. And probably make a couple checks there before being able to make decisions again. So dazedcloud's still ahead in that sense with being able to make more checks a little sooner. dazedcloud has the Smith in tow here. Gonna probably flute over to 3, turn in the Smith, come back into the Dark World, grab that chest. We'll see what we get from there.
Okay. Here it is. Is it on Smith? Or are we going to have to go even further into Purple Chest? Or even Ice Palace? Nothing yet on the Smiths. This is gross. Yeah, Dave's not even worrying about Purple Chest. Here's our Ice Palace play, which we've been waiting for about 40 minutes.
Be interesting to see what Buane does here. I mean, with a lot of other checks to do, like Smith and Meyer Shed and stuff, I can't imagine going to Ice Palace right away. But you know, if he chooses to kind of skip ahead there, that might help a lot based on what we already know.
Yeah, I mean, Buane is getting funneled here into Ice Palace soon. There's no question about it. Dave's already found one item, so 2 items left here. Has the cane. He's not hitting the switch, which, as far as I know, is a really good idea when you're doing Icebreaker. But we'll see how this works out.
I would love to see a mirror here in Ice Palace, but not a sword, just to break open a bunch of new checks. A sword would just open Aga, which doesn't really add anything until you get the boots. It does open Moth, which is it still has an item. But a mirror opens a lot of other things, like the K45, the checkerboard. Swamp Palace opens up.
Yeah, Swamp Palace being the big one. 6 items, full clearable. Left side swamp, all that jazz.
And just to clarify, like, even though this is hard item pool, there's a limitation on swords. There's still 4 swords in the place out there in the world, so they haven't found any of the 4. Well, 3 plus the one on Hylia Island. Just once they get that 3rd tempered sword, the 4th sword becomes a 20 rupees. There's the boots. That opens a few checks.
It opens up Lumberjack as soon as we have a sword, and I guess that opens up Turtle Rock. For both, having a sword to enter it and to finish it with that ice rod on Lumberjack.
Yeah, and it's great. Buane is here in Ice Palace as well, so this will be really big for Buane to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, dazedcloud does not know that it's a boost-locked ice rod. He just has not checked Lumberjack.
Now, do I get any channel points for predicting Ice Palace at like 4 minutes in? No, not today. All right, that's fine. Yeah. Chat unanimously saying no. Okay, fair enough.
Wait, we weren't even on an escape at 4 minutes, and you were already calling for it. And I gotta give you some credit. Pretty gutsy move to call Ice Palace in 4 minutes.
Yeah, still wouldn't have gone there, but at least it's nice to know it was correct. Daze did pick up a few little extra magic there just to make sure that they're topped off for this Cold Stare fight without having... although they have bombos. Oh, no sword. Man, that no sword thing, huh?
That no sword thing is just biting everybody. So, yeah, he wasn't able to do bombos, wasn't able to do the... the sword beams to kind of double up on his fire rod shots, and so I had to burn a potion to get some magic, really take care of these puffs from Cold Stare. Swordless Cold Stare, not a fun fight, because that hammer hitbox is really wonky.
Yeah, if y'all want to practice something crazy, you want to do green mail, no potions, hammer, Cold Stare with less than 10 hearts. And you'll see how if you were watching the hearts right there, you just saw how hard this one is gonna hit you. But dazedcloud has quite a few red potions, used one of them and finished off
getting $5 for his troubles. That is a second. No, that is our first pendant, which we've received.
We have Tower.
Second, actually.
Well,
yep, Tower of Hera. Yep, just a sword away from maybe checking the pedestal, which could have something.
So now with the boots, this opens up to finish Desert Palace, which is 1 check left, and also Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb is open. And Dazed Cloud, no one's turned in the purple chest yet, because Dazed Cloud did the Smith, didn't pick up the purple chest before going to Ice Palace. So there's still that option as well.
We have a new prediction in chat here. So, what do we got? So where's the first sword is our prediction.
I really want to go all in on that Bonk Rocks King's Tomb choice.
Yeah, I mean, actually, so Bonk Rock's King's Tomb are boots locked. So is Desert. Purple Chest is not. So if you're following boots, right, it could be either way. If you think Dazed Cloud just missed it because he didn't finish off the Smith chain, that's the one you go to.
And Buane finishing off Cold Stare using Hammer most of the way in another epic fight down to the wire. Again, one hit kills pretty much from Cold Stare when Green Mail. But great job getting through that. This actually helps Buane a lot to have gone to Ice Palace and skipped a couple of the other checks that Daze did. And with the knowledge that Aga is in play, even with having gone to Aga too early, this is still a race.
Yeah, and with these two runners, so great, so high caliber. It's going to be a race, right? You don't want to burn time, but even if you do, you know, you've got plenty of like tricks up your sleeve to try and make it up. Both of them heading straight into Desert. No checking these boots locked locations just yet. That being King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks. Lighting those with the lamp, saving a bit of magic for the fire rod shots on Landmalus. Does he have enough to finish it with just a fire rod? Yeah, it's going to take 6 shots, and he's got 6 shots in his... Well, had 6 shots in his magic meter. At this point, he's got to switch to something else. Hammer working out for Dazed Cloud. Buane now heading to the back of Desert Palace to take on Landmalus himself. About 112. Still no sword.
Who rolled the seed? Did they make sure this was a standard hard item pool and not swordless? Oh, we know there's a sword.
It's not swordless. We do have a sword on Hylia Island, so that's mirror locked, which we can't get to because we don't have a mirror. No inkling of where that mirror actually could be, but we do have some items on the right side of Desert Palace. Dazed Cloud gonna let us know. Is there a sword over here? That's your sword. That's your first one. Okay, so Skull Woods in Logic. Turtle Rock.
Misery Mire is ready to go.
Yeah, anything that was locked by a sword now is opened. But looks like Dazed Cloud. I thought he was going to go to TR actually. He does not yet know that the ice rod is on Lumberjack.
And this makes sense because Misery Mire is a red crystal. It's clearable. They would have the two red crystals to be able to check the big bomb. So we're waiting on Mirror to be able to get into Swamp Palace and grab that Master Sword off of Hylia Island. And of course, they have to do Aga to be able to bonk into Lumberjack Tree and get the Ice Rod before being able to do Turtle Rock. So there'll be a big question if dazedcloud gets to check Lumberjack before trying Turtle Rock, or if they're going to go up there first. So we'll have to wait and see that after Misery Mire. Of course, if the mirror is in Misery Mire, that's going to change a lot of things. So this is a big wait and see for sure.
This is an awful Misery Mire, by the way. You know, no silvers, because you're not going to get them in hard item pool. And Fighter Sword.
Yeah, no beams.
Green mail.
Wizrobes are tough.
Oh, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about Vitreous.
Yeah, I would bet that's why Daze got the bomb and arrow upgrade. I feel like that's a really good play to take down Vidi.
I would go so far to say as this is a miserable Mire. Thank you, Tyler Salt, in chat for pointing that out.
Give that one about a 4 out of 5.
Awesome. I will split credit with Tyler Salt.
So we've seen one item already, Cane of Burna in Misery Mire. The mirror and maybe another sword would be ideal. But we've got lots of things to check still.
Yeah, still one item, but man, you don't want to spend too much time. You know, dazedcloud has got to take some chances, just because in his mind, you know, he knows he has to do it or he's done. So he's going straight to Vitreous, not working on the right side, not working on the cutscene chest, the vanilla big key chest here in Misery Mire. He's hoping for something out of Vitreous.
Absolutely, and Buane is saying hi to all of his old friends from Aga the first time he came through. This time with the sword ready to take down Aga and go collect that ice rod from Lumberjack. But with dazedcloud, you know, having those extra bombs, extra arrows from the little fairy fountain by Ice Palace, it's going to be helpful to soften up Vidi in the eyes. Throw a couple bombs up there, shoot a lot of arrows. Probably stay pretty safe that way. Not really able to use that fighter sword to any value on Vitreous, so if it was a master sword, it'd be a little bit possible to use NMG strats, but this is going to be a lot of bombs and arrows.
Yep, this is really just attrition, right? Making sure you hit him more than he hits you, and with 4.5 hearts, I think dazedcloud still does have a red potion, but I don't think he has, you know, much leeway to spare here.
That powder definitely helps a lot, though.
We got an Aghanim fight. Let's just real quick see how many blue balls are going to be on Aga. I'm going to say 3.
dazedcloud's still committed to the NMG strats to start out with, softening them up, and now here comes the bombs.
He did buy, you know, that arrow upgrade, so he does have, you know, 5 more arrows to spare. Not going to be a huge expense for him. And 8 arrows to the eye with the regular arrows, and he is done. For a second sword. So he had a sword lock sword, which doesn't surprise me at this point, but it's still annoying to get that master sword.
So dazedcloud is a mirror away from go mode. They of course have to do Aga. They have to find out that they have to do Aga still. But in terms of no mode, it's just a mirror away at this point.
Did you just see Buane dodge those lightning strikes? Just, I don't know, Matrix style. He stood right against the wall, daring Aghanim to hit him, and he missed. So that was something.
dazedcloud gonna check bonk rocks. This would be a great time to go up and check the lumberjack, just in case. We'll see if they do. Remember that Buane does not have the mirror yet, so saving and quitting will take him back to the light world. No problem there.
Oh, okay. Maybe dazedcloud is going to check here. Lumberjack. I was afraid he might not. So he'll find out that he does have to do Aga. Likely to do that right away so he can go over to Turtle Rock. Yeah, not even checking King's Tomb, which we just saw that Buane picked up a shield in King's Tomb. At this point, Aga has the most value for dazedcloud. That leads to Turtle Rock, and then that leads to possibly getting a mirror.
Yep, and really all that's left after that is we've got Mothula, potentially Ped check, right? Because mirror could be on Ped.
Yep, still haven't seen that.
And the purple chest. I assume Buane is going to go towards Misery Mire next after this. Since again that's open, it's red crystal. So we've got Big Bomb. Big Bomb could have mirror. A couple different options still available.
Yeah. I mean, I'd prefer for the mirror to be right in your path. You don't have to go too far. And dazedcloud is probably thinking the same thing. He's just going to do Turtle Rock, follow the progression, and just hope he runs into it.
I can see dazedcloud doing the Big Bomb next. Just because having the... Oh, never mind. Don't have the mirror. Forget I said anything.
No. Yeah,
just make it easy. Make it easy after. Normally, if you have the mirror, you can utilize the castle portal to get to the Big Bomb faster, but not today.
And he still could. He's got the hammer. He could go straight down there, get those 2 chests out of the Pyramid Fairy, and refill a bottle or 2. Maybe it's something helpful.
To see, knowing what's in Mire, knowing that the big key is in the Firelock chest. Will Buane go check cutscene, or will he also do what dazedcloud did and go right to Vidi? That'll be a potential time loss, time save, or balance out, I guess. There's a couple opportunities where Buane could lose a little bit more time because of the checks that are still available to him. That dazedcloud is either already done or Buane already skipped. Also be curious, dazedcloud, even with a mirror, I mean, being right next to Swamp Palace, it might go get that Tempered Sword for that value. Doesn't have to, they know how to do Master Sword's Silverless Ganon, but there is a definite time save with having that upgrade there.
I don't see either one of these runners not going straight from Swamp Palace to get that mirror or vice versa. Or, I'm sorry, to get that sword on Lake Hylia Island or vice versa. That upgrade from Master Sword to Tempered Sword is huge, especially against Ganon. It saves you a ton of time.
And definitely in Turtle Rock if somehow they get the mirror before that, but it doesn't look like that unless it's on Mothula. Chances are dazedcloud's going to probably do Master Sword Turtle Rock unless the sword is in Turtle Rock as well. It's hard to believe anybody would do anything other than Turtle Rock after they complete their little segments here.
Yeah, the only thing we thought of is maybe Pyramid Fairy, but Turtle Rock's got the value. It's a crystal. You can complete it once you get that ice rod off a lumberjack, and then it's just a mirror hunt. With 6 of our available checks here left in Turtle Rock, you're going to chance that mirror's there.
But it feels pretty weird to have a sword after more than an hour of not having one. I forget to press that button once in a while.
I'm certainly known to do the opposite, thinking I have a sword at some point, and I don't. But once you get a sword, it's like, okay, now everything is right in the world. I have a sword. I can do things.
It happens to me with boots. You forget you have boots after about an hour, and you're still walking around going, "Oh yeah, I guess I could dash."
Wayne's showing off some spooky action. He set that up and was able to hit the spike to flip that switch, hit the anti-fairy to hit the switch. So spooky. Here we go. Hit the torch for the third one.
Yeah, it's a great time save. You just have to set it up outside when you flute to the portal. You just kind of duck down underneath the block as the bird takes off, and that'll kind of activate it. There's a couple other things going on. It's definitely worth learning if you don't already know how to do it. It saves a whole room and a half worth of time.
Wayne also trying out the NMG strats before opting to do something else. So he's got that red potion just as dazedcloud did. Good to use it. Instead of the bomb strats, he's using arrows. And once he clears out these small eyeballs, the big eyeballs, he gets that second sword off of Vitreous. dazedcloud now with his ice rod, able to do and finish Turtle Rock.
And Buane's switched over to hammer because he wants to save those 8 arrow shots for the big eye. As here they come raining down. All right, now we got SpeedGaming 4. Thanks for the raid. Thanks for joining us. I think that's we've got quite a few SpeedGaming raids now, which is pretty awesome. Welcome to the fun.
Yep.
Got a pretty epic race going on.
SpeedGaming 2, 3, and now 4 joining the party on SpeedGaming 6. The mythical gaming SpeedGaming 6. Yeah, we do have a great seed here. Buane versus dazedcloud. Buane looking to move on in the brackets. dazedcloud hoping to stay alive for one more race. And dazedcloud and Buane now just looking for that mirror so they can finish off Swamp Palace.
This is pretty epic now because Daze is going to go check either tablet that Buane has already done. I mean, Buane's going to be able to go right to Turtle Rock from here. There are a couple checks different out there, but since they're here in Turtle Rock, if the mirror's in Turtle Rock, that's gonna this race is gonna be awesome. I mean, it already is awesome, but they're gonna be right aligned. If there's no reason for them to divert from the crystal path, it's gonna be pretty amazing here.
Yeah, we do have a prediction though. Where's that mirror? Is it in Turtle Rock or somewhere else? So this is the third or maybe even fourth prediction here we've had on SpeedGaming 6 for this race. Hope you're gaining those channel points, wagering them and winning. Not much of a gambling man here, but I think I'm going to wager on this one. I know it's got to be in Turtle Rock. There's 6 items. There's not much left. There's Mothula, Pedestal, and Purple Chest. I'll take the 1 in 6 versus the rest of it any day.
Well, I like crazy things happening on a race for good entertainment value, so I put a nice 50% down on the pedestal is where I'm thinking.
All right. Well, I'm all in on Turtle Rock, so one of us is going to be happy, or maybe neither of us will be happy.
I'm thrilled because this is such an awesome race either way, so it's a win-win.
Plenty of keys here in Turtle Rock. There's one. We got the fire locked side. Got 2 chests, and we got the chain chomp room coming up soon. Usually, you'll get a lot of items back in the laser bridge area. Just because you need quite a few keys to get there in the first place. And no chance at Mimic Cave. You know, sometimes that makes Turtle Rock a bit more enticing, but no mirror, no Mimic Cave.
dazedcloud taking a death warp to get back to the beginning. Now, I believe Buane has empty bottles. I think he used that last red potion on Vidya. Do we know what dazedcloud has in his bottles?
dazedcloud still should have a magic potion. Believe he filled that up with the Waterfall Fairy. That might be it. He had an empty, and I think he had 2 reds. Oh, no, he's got a red potion. Okay. Thought he had used both of them.
Ooh, taking a hit from a chain chomp there. Real scary room on Green Mail.
Yeah, these will hit you hard. Got to avoid them. Cape is a good strat. Cape is a very good strat for that room. And both have powder. Both have the bug net. Maybe we can pick up some safeties.
Get that vanilla big key, so they were going to check it anyway, in case it was the mirror.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you really only check that if you don't have the big key at that point, or you were not yet in go mode. And both conditions were true here.
Yeah, and although they can't do Mimic Cave, like I said, because they don't have the mirror, you're going to want that big chest, since we're looking for items.
Yep, absolutely. Gonna just say that is, you're gonna come out here because you don't want to leave this one behind, especially if it's a key. If it's a small key like that, you have a chance of not getting into Trinex at all, and you're gonna have to come back here anyway. Worth the extra few seconds to get that and be thorough.
I really want to know what bottles Buane has. I'm thinking nothing, but that's going to be really relevant, I think, in the Trinex fight. Oh, there's the mirror.
Hey, there it is. 1 hour, 30 minutes, 36 seconds. Buane's in go mode.
My points. Great pick, Lamar. Great pick.
Yeah, sometimes I get lucky. Congrats to everybody in the chat who did predict that mirror is in Turtle Rock, as of course it would be.
So what's exciting is that is go mode. So there's no reason to deviate from the path. So all of the couple things that Buane has skipped to kind of catch up are off the table now. So really, it's just that sword on Lake Hylia Island potentially, and this, and then Swamp Palace before Ganon's Tower. So it's going to be a very exciting finish of this race here. But what I was saying with that mirror, before the mirror, if this is potentially a hammer Trinex fight with the Master Sword with only one set of magic, it could be really interesting. Didn't look like there was anything in those bottles.
I actually didn't see. So we're just looking for a key here, but a piece of heart is not bad. And dazedcloud not even concerned with the rest of it. Which is fine. He knows where that third sword is. Gonna probably pick it up right after Swamp Palace.
Buane having hardly any trouble with those 2 heads with the hammer. So despite doing Aga twice, essentially, Buane is now slightly ahead, right? I believe is 2 heads ahead.
3 heads ahead now, but yes, you are correct. Buane is here in the lead. Got 6 crystals. dazedcloud, not too far behind. This is still really close. Could come down to a literal choice of left or right in Ganon's Tower. But onto Swamp Palace, Buane is going to go. And dazedcloud really got to be careful not to get hit anymore with this Trinex head.
Oh, that's not good.
I shouldn't have said anything. And he didn't take the safety door. He's got to go back to the big key chest.
That's going to be a big chance here for Buane to get ahead here. As dazedcloud's going to have to make up some time here, but this is a big execution battle. Ooh, dazedcloud taking another fall on the pokies.
Take a deep breath, dazedcloud. You know, it's not over. You haven't seen a dot done. Just go for it.
And just to remind everyone of the stakes, so Buane did take game 1. So if Buane is able to pull this one out, he will take the match 2-0. So dazedcloud probably feeling the pressure of knowing that it's going to do or die here, and hoping to die less and do more as they finish up this race.
Winner of this series goes on to face an undetermined opponent out of GFE or TJ Maelstrom.
But there's still plenty of time. I mean, the Ganon Tower climb, there's still things going on there. You know, there can be a difference of routing in Ganon's Tower. So it's not over yet. There's always game to play. We'll have to see. But Buane does have quite a bit of an advantage now, for sure.
He does. It has not yet picked up the Tempered Sword off of Lake Hylia Island. I suspect he'll do that just after he gets out of Swamp Palace. It's natural. You're in the Dark World. You might as well do it. Doesn't make as much sense to do it going there before Swamp Palace.
You know, and while dazedcloud might be feeling a little pressure with the kind of the count against him, Buane, you know, knowing that he full cleared Aga twice, essentially, you know, has got to be feeling some pressure too at this point. So I imagine both runners might be looking at that race time once in a while to take a look and see if someone else is finished. But these are also great runners that are they're just going to focus and try to get the thing done here.
No chance at even bothering with that sword on Hylia Island. That's our 4th sword we found here in Swamp Palace.
So now it'll be really interesting if dazedcloud chooses to get that sword before going to the swamp. I can't imagine there's not a huge advantage in using the tempered sword in Swamp Palace, so they probably would just go right to it.
It takes a lot longer to get there and back to Swamp Palace anyway. So Buane firmly just focused on finishing Argus, heading up to the mountain in Ganon's Tower, trying to finish out this series. dazedcloud, now with his 6th crystal, knows to go to Swamp Palace.
And chat pointing out that now that we know where all the swords are, that Desert Palace sword was it. So, you know, if they would have stolen the key and tried to go to the back first for Lambo, or stolen the key to be able to go to the right side, you know, what an interesting seed that would have turned out to be.
Yeah, but stealing the key, you know, I've seen it work maybe, I don't know, 5% of the time has ever happened, and I don't see it very often. It's not a real great play. But dazedcloud is going for that sword. Not gonna really notice that he's missed the sword in Swamp Palace, because that'll turn into a green 20 for him.
And I can understand that after taking a few falls into a rock, feeling maybe extra behind now. You know, just looking for any advantage right now, especially on just making Argus fight just a little bit easier.
Hey, we do have one new prediction, and we do the predictions now that the Sahasrabot has retired from, you know, managing all these numbers for us. Where do we think the big key is going to be. I see some numbers in chat. Obviously, you can enter a prediction, maybe double up your winnings, triple up your winnings from the predictions so far. So, what do you think, Jawsome Sauce?
I'm gonna guess like 17, so odd.
Odd. Well, I guess that means I have to go even. And yeah, odd or even. 22 checks. 50-50 chance. Get your bets in. We don't have too much more time.
You want to pick a number specifically with your even?
Nope. No, I'll take that. The even half of it. That's fine. That's better odds of winning.
Could split it into thirds like roulette. We can take the first 12.
Precisely. Yeah, I have better luck betting on red or black than I do on one of the 36 numbers. And then it's gonna hit 00 and I lose.
So the first check, just a shield, going left first, not doing hope room first. So we'll see if that, if it's on the right side of GT now, that could give dazedcloud a chance to come back a little bit.
Yeah, Swamp is not going to be too much trouble at all, especially when you go mode it. You go straight to the back. Nothing
really great bottle to pick up though. Blue potion.
Yeah, definitely good pickup. Buane, mirror now. So this is a good strat. It's in hope room. Naturally, it's going to be in hope room. So Buane on his way up the tower.
So that's 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's 7. So that's odd. So grats on odd, and I lose all my channel points.
Isn't that the number you normally pick?
No, I pick 8 or 9 or something like that. But
they're pretty close.
Doesn't matter.
It counts in that world.
I didn't have too many SpeedGaming 6 points to begin with, but it's fine.
So if dazedcloud, I mean, again, we're speculating on kind of a large lead here, but dazedcloud going right on into hope room, we'll have a little bit of time made up, not a lot. So it's Buane's thing to handle here.
Buane entering the gauntlet. dazedcloud still has to climb the mountain, which is time consumption on its own. It's really just going to come down to how well is this fight going to be for Buane. Is there going to be any disastrous falls, or is he just going to take it as he is known to do?
Yeah, and being able to grab that blue potion might be relevant to make sure keeping the torch lit and that sort of thing. But they're so used to doing the silverless Ganon, and with tempered sword, it should be no problem at all to keep that torch lit with just one full magic. But it'll give him a little leeway to use a cape if he has to or something else.
Crushing this gauntlet, by the way.
Wow, one cycle, great Lambo fight.
Yeah, he knew exactly where they were going to be. Had one spin, and then the rest were fire rod shots, and that's all she wrote. And up to the upper tower.
Yeah, as chat pointed out, we're basically looking at NMG strats. So if you're playing the vanilla game, this is exactly what's happening.
Yeah, Buane no stranger to those stretch. dazedcloud either. So I guess it depends on how far onto the left side he's going to go. If he goes any farther than Stalfos' room, he's losing time on Buane.
It was a real close miss there. Buane shooting an extra fire rod shot, but having exactly enough to be able to shoot back up and finish that room. Buane picked up a blue potion in the skeleton room, so he does have that. Chat was asking.
We are already past Moldorm 2 on Buane's end.
Yeah, this is a gauntlet clinic. Clip that, practice that. It's a good example of how to handle this part of the game.
Yeah, if you can mimic even half of this, you're doing pretty good. All right, starting off with a double. Good start on the Aga 2 fight. And as I say that, we get a miss.
As we wait for the flight over to the pig for Buane, just to recap, this was a Aga seed. There were no swords until about an hour 10 or so. The first sword being on in Desert Palace. There was boots required in Ice Palace, Pendant Ice Palace, and Buane was able to catch up after having done Aga Tower before getting a sword, having to leave and come back. So pretty epic race so far as we see Buane take on Ganon here.
Yeah, very good race from both of these runners. All that's left for Buane here is fighting off Ganon. I'd love to see if he got the 1-1 here with the Tempered Sword.
Buane was so fast going up Ganon's tower, it caused his feed to freeze for a second.
Yeah, the game has to catch up with him right now.
Yeah, Hyrule has not gotten fiber internet yet, so up a little bit. Thanks for that joke, chat.
Yep. Well, I imagine the fight is going okay for Buane here. And indeed, we are on phase 4. Obviously, no silver arrows. You got to get the torch glitch and work your way through spins as Ganon is warping, in which Buane is making quick work of him here. And just like that, Buane is taking down Ganon, taking out dazedcloud from this tournament, advancing on 2-0. Get your GGs in chat for Buane, who will take this match. Well, we are a little bit frozen here, but he did take this game in 1 hour, 45 minutes, 53 seconds with the official racetime.gg time. GGs to Buane.
I like how it's paused kind of at the right moments. Like there was him raising the sword, him holding the Triforce. Nice glamour shots happening.
It's a slideshow. You got to stick to the highlights. You know, don't go into too much detail.
dazedcloud coming up to Lammo 2. Gonna finish this one out.
See if we can get Buane in here. And indeed, we are joined by Buane, our winner tonight. GG's, Buane.
Hey guys, thanks. GG's.
So the first question we have for you is, would you like a sword?
I would like my brain to function properly when I don't have a sword. How about that?
Are you referring to anything specific, Buane?
You know, just climbing all the way up Aga Tower, thinking, this is pretty smart. You know, I gotta check Pyramid and Catfish. I was gonna run over there after Pod, but hey, I gotta do it anyway. So halfway up, I realized, I don't have a sword, so I'm gonna have to use Bug Net when I get to Aga. And then, like, the room before Aga I realized, well, I'm gonna look pretty silly.
I mean, silly or not, you still took this game. Was there, any point where you were thinking, man, this is looking like pedestal for one thing or another? We were missing a few key items here near the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's in your head, obviously. You're looking at what do you have left. Basically, when Bo didn't lead to anything, you knew it was someplace terrible. There were no good options after Eastern and Pod, and they're all spread out. And I don't have a sword, so some of them I can't even go and do. A pedestal probably wouldn't have even been the worst place for it to be at that point. It was a tough seed. I definitely kind of tilted myself with the Agate Tower misplay because that's a lot of lost time. And immediately after that, basically misplayed again because I was going up to T-Rock after I picked Ether out of Desert, and I got halfway up the mountain and said, I can't get into T-Rock either. Stupid. And so I felt like, okay, I've lost at that point. It's over. But as I spent a little more time thinking the next couple months, I was like, this has been a really rough seed. Like, there's every possibility. I almost died to Blind. I almost died to Cold Stare. I almost died to Vidi. Like, there's every possibility, like, if Daze is just having a rough time, too, I could still be right in it. I could be ahead. Like, I can't start going crazy and skipping everything and trying to make up this time, despite having thrown away, like, several minutes there in the middle. So, sometimes you get a really rough seed. This was a really mean-spirited seed. I don't know exactly what happened to Dazed specifically, but there were a lot of ways to lose time in this one.
I mean, I don't think there was anything specific I could point to say, Dazed took a wrong turn here or made a gamble there versus what you had done. Just kind of the way things worked out. Really, one thing you mentioned, scraping by on some of the bosses by the skin of your teeth. Aghanim, when you got to him, you stared him down and took that lightning strike like a champ and just kind of waited for him to miss you. What the heck? It completely missed you. That was great.
Yeah, we were trying to get the double heart beeps on stream if my audio was on.
We got them.
Yeah. Couple spots there. It's always nice. I had like no magic anyway, so even if I took a bunch of damage, it wasn't gonna cost me time on the refill. At that point, like, again, still wasn't feeling very great, but just trying to stay interested. So try to dodge some lightning and see how your reflexes are.
Yeah, it was like Neo going against an agent.
Yeah, and so for a big portion of it, you were just a couple steps behind, mostly because Daze had found the flippers and flute a little bit out of logic there, and had that advantage. But once you picked that up, you actually skipped a couple checks that Dazed had already done, went to Ice Palace. You guys were in Ice Palace at the same time, and then you were in TR at the same time, and you were maybe two necks ahead, I think we were saying, when Daze took a fall on Trinex, and that sort of was the breaking point, I think, in the race.
Yeah, it was a tough scene for boss fights. It's actually been very interesting. I didn't think about it before the tournament started, but it makes a lot of sense. You're very accustomed, anybody who plays Rando is very accustomed to having blue mail, red mail for a lot of these boss fights. And they are very dangerous with stuck on green mail the whole game. We've seen a lot of, Ganon issues for players in the tournament too, and it makes some sense now in retrospect. Like, it's a hard game, period, and when you're taking a lot of damage from some of these bosses in one shot, when you're sort of accustomed to not having it be that dangerous, you can just take deaths all over the place. Not to mention when you spend, an hour and 15 minutes without a sword, and, things can just start getting more and more annoying from there. So, look, the best players at the game die all over the place, and it can happen. It's one of those things, right? So it's tough. Neither of us really sounds like had an amazing seed this time, but what comes down to in Rando, sometimes you just get luckier.
And if I may, extend a GG's to dazedcloud, who did take down Ganon at 152.10. He is joining us here in the booth. GG's dazedcloud.
GG's. GG there, Buane.
GG dazed.
Yeah, at some point, I just kind of realized, God, this seed is awful.
You too, huh?
Yeah, I mean, at one point there, like, I was thinking about it because I got the ether medallion out of desert there, and I was like, oh, great, so we're boots locked. And then, like, as I'm fluting away, I'm kind of going, ooh, this might have actually been an argument for stealing that key. I wonder if there's anything over. Oh, and then, like, later, of course, you come back and there's a sword, and it's like, yeah, would have been a good time to have done it.
It's funny. I also thought about it because I actually went to look to see what was on the torch to see if I wanted to steal the small key, and just at that point, so much had gone wrong that I didn't want to get involved with it. But yeah, imagine getting a sword before the hour 10 mark would have been nice.
Oh man, that would have been incredible there. I was just like sitting there, like getting through this seed and just trying to go, okay, like I know Buane's just generally room to room faster. I mean, NMG execution, I'm not bad, but I'm not as good as he is. And so I'm just trying to think like, okay, I need to make I need to not make stupid moves, but at the same time, I need to kind of get like I need to kind of do something. So like we got the Dark World axis there, and I'm just looking at Mitts and Hammer and Moon Pearl, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, so there's probably a god route to the seed, but I don't know if I'm gonna hit it. So I went over and just fake flippered into Waterfall Cave, and then got, oh dang, all right. So here's my flute. Here's everything. Oh man, am I dropping frames? Oh, anyway, weird. But yeah. And then so I started feeling really good, and then I was like, okay, I'll go check this, I'll go check that. Everything's good, doing fine. And man, yeah. Yeah, then it just started going sideways.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of chances for either of you to make or lose time. This was not a pleasant seed all around, and I commend you both for doing so well on it. Actually, you didn't have a sword for a whole long time, and that locked a whole lot of stuff. So you had to be good at swordless. You had to make some gambles, right? Both of you went into Ice Palace, and we were calling that actually just as a joke for a while, but that had your boots to unlock pretty much everything else.
I think that was kind of the funny thing about it at some point is that I'm like looking at, I had nothing else to do at that point. I don't know about Buane, but I had nothing else to do almost. I had like purple chest, I think.
Yeah, I think all I had was I hadn't done the smith either, so I had smith and purple chest, and I did also bail out a catfish just because when I finally got the flippers at whatever ungodly point in time that was, which I would have had right after pod. I was literally saying, all right, pod finished up, I have nothing good left, I'm going to run over to Pyramid and Catfish. And then that's when I had the bright idea, hey, like I can just climb Agate Tower and beat Aga right now, right? Nope, wrong. But so I didn't do that, so I never got the Pyramid. Right after I picked up the flippers, I said, I guess I have to try and cut some time somewhere. I didn't want to play like a crazy person, but cutting out Catfish seemed like an okay play. So Catfish and Smiths and Purple Chest, but yeah, like Ice Palace just seems, especially getting the flips so late there, for me it seemed obvious, and I'm sure it seemed pretty obvious for you too, since you had nothing left, and you'd been sitting on the flippers for a while too. Like, you're like, alright, it's time to go into Ice Palace. We've all been there.
Yeah, I mean, I ran up to Catfish early just because I know you kind of occasionally tend to forget forget that. So I was kind of hoping maybe this time he'll forget again.
It seemed like a really easy seed to get up to Catfish when I saw that we're gonna have to go kill Aga, which I got that info early, and I'm like, all right, like then we have Mitts and Hammer for Dark World, so it's like, all right, I'll do Hype Cave to Thieves, and I guess we'll see what we get. And I don't think there was anything on that route, and yeah, like it's always wacky when you get these seeds that you have so much initial Dark World access, but like none of the items you really want, like swords or a bow or the mirror, and That's when you can have seeds that look like this, where you're just like leaving gaps all over the place because you're missing the items to get there, and there's 6 different reasonable routes you can take to start your Dark World adventure, and that part of the seed was kind of fun. It just then we went 30, 40 more minutes with no swords, and it wasn't very fun.
Yeah, I just at some point there, I'm like, well, I mean, I bet chat's enjoying the. I bet chat's enjoying all of the ridiculous kills that you had to do. How'd you do blind? I ended up going like hammer and then switching to Samaria at one point just because I was like, eh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I haven't done blind with hammer in a while, but I used to be decent at the fight, and I messed it up immediately. So I had to pray and kind of close my eyes in Samaria, the third phase, with like 1 heart. I think I finished the fight with 1 heart. It was pretty gross and dangerous. But yeah, the boss fights I almost died to Colts there, which wouldn't have mattered that much because it was pendant. I just would have not gone back. And Vidi was also a huge adventure that I going into Vidi, I don't think I realized, like, hey, I've only got fighter sword. So right away I kind of like tried to think mid-flight what I wanted to do, and took a hit from an eye, and then I had to use a potion, and now I don't have another potion left. It was pretty gross. So it's hard. Look, it's hard to play this game, and especially when you're on like really low percent firepower like we were. Just, it doesn't matter how good you are. You're only going to have so much practice in situations like that. So sometimes you try and hope for the best and maybe get lucky.
Yeah, improvise and hope it works out. So looking ahead, right? dazedcloud, I'm sorry that this is your exit from the tournament. Any plans on anything coming up?
Lots and lots and lots of cross keys. And then probably some more cross keys, and occasionally you'll hear me probably talking about other people racing. That seems to be my plan, mostly from this point on.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it. Buane, you're moving on and facing the winner of the GFE TJ Maelstrom series. GFE is up 1-0 on that, and they have their second game tomorrow. Any thoughts on a potential opponent?
Look, anybody that's in this tournament, period, anybody who qualified is really good and can take down anybody else. Certainly the 64 players who made it to brackets can beat anybody else. The winner of this tournament is just, it's going to be the guy that gets luckiest, or it's going to be the person who goes the longest without getting unlucky. That's just the way it's going to boil down. So whoever I play, if it's GFE, if it's TJ, it'll be a fun match. And you just try and have some fun with it, because if you're not having fun, you might as well find a different game to play.
Yeah, well said. Best of luck there going on for the rest of this tourney, bud. I'm just kind of generally say, if I couldn't like say it before, but I think you're mostly my pick to go all the way. But yeah, no, I mean you're right. There's a lot of like stuff that's involved, and luck and other things that's kind of has to go into it there. But yeah, I got faith, bud. Good luck with the rest.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Again, you're gonna go down. You try to not leave anything out there, right? You try to not have a decision out there that you didn't make that you regret, and it's like, I could have won if only I had really committed to that and not gotten scared. So you just try and play your game, and if it works out, it works out. If you get a terrible seed like this and your opponent, God routes it or whatever, I get pretty lucky in this one. Like, I made a couple big mistakes, but the seed was so mean that it ended up not really mattering. So, if that happens in another race, sometimes you just don't get that luck to balance it out, and you get punished for your mistake. So, everybody who's been playing this game for as long as everybody in this tournament has, it's always, it's always an achievement to beat anybody. And so it was a lot of fun playing you Dazed again, and hopefully we see each other in the next tournament.
I'm gonna say I hope not.
Hopefully we see each other in the finals of the next.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I'll take that one.
Absolutely. So GG's to both of you on your great play in this tournament. Looking ahead in the schedule, right? We're just getting started on brackets. we're not even halfway through the first round here. We've got more action coming up tomorrow, starting at 2:10 on Speed Gaming 5. That's going to be F. Coughlin versus In the Name of DT. Going to be a great match if you've seen their first two, and it continues from there. Check the schedule for full details. Also, don't forget about No Kid Hungry happening on Speed Gaming through Monday, I believe it is. And give that a look. Lots of great talent going on there. Jaws, I'm going to give you the last word. I've been talking quite a bit here.
Well, before we close the curtains on this game, remember to point all your swords towards the runners. Give them a follow. You can see their links there. Also follow the commentary crew and the tracking crew. Thanks so much to Lumaga. Been a lot of fun today. Thank you, Wolflink, for tracking, and our restreamer as well. Thank you for handling that. That's it for me. Anything else from you?
That's it. I would say have a good night, everybody.